and welcome to another episode of the Extremely Casual Gamers podcast with Ellie, Chris and Guy. This is a casual gaming podcast for the everyday gamer. And on today's podcast, we're doing skill trees, are we, Guy?
Yes, it's a very common mechanic in video games where as you level up and you get XP, you earn like a skill point, and then you go into the menu and there's a skill map, and there's all these different things that your character can unlock, whether it be like new moves or increase the stamina or something like that. So we've all been given one skill point in real life.
Yeah.
What are we spending that skill point on?
Yeah.
Just one.
Just one. Because if
one.
we did three, it would drag on.
Yeah, fair
okay.
enough.
You know?
We don't
Okay,
want that.
No.
And Chris, you're going to put us to sleep this morning with a bit of a Death
That's
Stranding
right. I'm going to be testing out my chokehold and putting you each to sleep by talking about the new Death Stranding 2 trailer, which came out, I think, 24 hours ago in terms of recording this right now. It's probably 48 by the time it comes out.
Yeah.
I have watched it. I have taken notes, and I will do my best to explain what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
Did you watch
okay.
it just before coming into the studio? Because your energy's pretty low. Did it zap you? Did you watch Death Stranding in the car before you came in?
No, I watched it at home this morning while eating cereal and taking notes on my phone.
Oh, lovely.
Fun fact, you guys are the first people I've spoken to all day. So,
Really?
yeah, because I've been at home editing
Oh, true.
a punishing social video.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so I'll warm up.
you
Just don't bring attention to it, Guy, because then everyone will be in on it. And they'll be zoning in on it for the rest of the podcast.
Any personal anecdotes you want to touch on first?
Ellie,
Sorry.
Ooh,
Sorry, how are we? How are we? All?
Real quick shout out to Ross Mansell, my brother. He turned 35 this week. He's been a big supporter of the podcast since day one. He watches on YouTube. So hello, Ross. Happy
Hi, Ross.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
35, and you look it.
Oh,
it's
what is
nice.
it? Is it a nice thing or no? It's not a nice thing, is it?
I
saw-
think looking 35 is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ask your parents, would you like to look 35 again? They're like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do you remember when your parents were like 33, 35, and as a kid you look at them and you think they're like a grown up, like an
Yes.
old, not an old person,
No, but
like,
yes.
like they've got their shit together. And you go, oh my God, I'm at an age that I remember my parents being.
Yes. No,
You know?
I went through all this old family VHS footage recently because it was my sister's 30th, and I found all this footage of us as kids, and my mum and dad are obviously in the videos, and they are my age. And it was such a trip to see my parents in moving graphics, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Not just photos, but them moving at the same age I was. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're actually really young there, but
Yeah.
like they looked old to me.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I'm that old person. Okay,
I
cool.
still like at B school, we had a bloke who was in our class who was 2 years older than us, Matt.
Yeah.
He was in town recently, lives in Canada, but like he's literally 35, I'm 33. But back then he was like an adult.
Yeah, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
It's because I think he'd had like a full-time job.
He was a truck driver.
He was a
for
truck
while.
driver, and then he gave that up to come to the university where we'd gone straight from like high school to university. We were like, whoa, you've like lived a life.
You've lived, man. And so I think actually, some of our closest friends now are actually 15 years older than us, which is
Oh.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like my
Really?
wife's boss at her old job, they
Yeah.
clicked really well. And then her husband and I, we get on quite well. They've got a daughter and stuff, and we hang out with them quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I think we're at the age now where you kind of just mates with anyone above the age of probably 27.
Yeah.
You're going to be mates with.
It's just
Yeah.
a vibe. If you're on the
It
same
is.
vibe level, doesn't matter how old you are.
Actually, the good thing too about being friends with people who are slightly older is they've had kids and stuff like that, so that when that time comes, they will actually have the experience to help you.
True.
Rather than, we're all having kids at the same time sort of thing, and it's
Yeah,
just a
you
big
just-
cluster, you know what I mean?
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Benefits.
Benefits. Get the allies in line. All right.
Friends
well,
with benefits.
Yeah.
They call it. Yeah.
All right. We'll jump into some listener
Hang on.
feedback.
Have
What?
you had any anecdotes? Oh, no, yes. Sorry, about looking at videos of your parents.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was part of
okay.
my contribution, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, sweet as, just checking.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, mate. Hey, listener feedback now. What do we have here? Terry. Now, I'm not going to know the reference of this, but Terry posted in our Extremely Casual group for Extremely Casual Gamers podcast Facebook group. He's got a gaming-related tattoo. Do we know what-
Transformers?
Is that Transformers? Or is that just
Yeah, that's Transformers.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
a dope tattoo.
So it's on like his. That's a
That's the back-
arm
is-
or the calf? I
calf.
can't actually
That's,
tell.
that's the back of his leg. That's his calf.
Gotcha. Okay, or is it his dick? No.
Ellie.
Very nice.
Roll out.
Sorry, Terry, I should not objectify you, but lovely tattoo. And it got us, got a few other people posting in here about their tattoos. Top comment, Paul Askew said, I think Chris has 2 Pokeballs tattooed on his chest. And then Edward said, I believe they are meat patties.
Guys, not on this podcast, all right?
Well-
That's for another podcast.
We've never actually sort of like touched on that, but I
Do you want to touch them? Is that what you're asking? Do you want to
Two
touch
hands.
on them?
I was, I was shocked on social media a few weeks ago when I did see the big reveal. We don't have to touch on it, but what are they?
What do you mean, what are they? What does your gut tell you, Ellie? For those that don't know, I recently was on TV at a massive sporting event in a hot tub, and I had giant nipples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we decided to not talk about them at all
Love
on
it.
the broadcast. It went
So funny.
kind of viralish.
Yeah.
And now everyone I see wants to know. Like, I went to a wedding 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and I had to get my nips out 6 times just to prove. They were like, show us your nips and show us the meat patties. I'm like, yeah, and basically they aren't real.
Yeah.
But for anyone listening to this podcast, if anyone asks, say yes, they are real.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Because I want to get onto a show, like imagine getting onto a TV show here in New Zealand like Celebrity Treasure Island or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every day drawing the nips on with lip liner, by the way.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that what it was? That's very well done.
Waterproof lip liner, yeah.
Wow.
And then just every day walking around like in a singlet or shirtless and just people being like, oh my God, have you seen this guy's nips?
That's funny. That is my kind of humor.
That's
I
funny,
love
eh?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it so
Or
much.
everyone's like waiting. You're on Celebrity Treasure Island, and everyone's waiting for that, watching at home, and then everyone's wearing no shirt and stuff like that. And then you walk out and you've got a rashie on.
Well, exactly.
You
And
got a rash shirt on.
I'll
They're like,
always,
ah!
I'll always be trying to cover up and stuff. But
Yeah.
then we also had the idea that like at the next Black Clash that I come out and I've got slightly bigger ones.
Oh, that's funny.
I know,
Each year it gets. Oh,
It turns out
yeah.
there's something funny about dudes with massive nipples.
Yeah, it is.
It's an untapped area of comedy.
It is. You really found it. All right, moving on from the old nips. Sean Vandermerve, our friend, who we now say his name correctly, he put quite a cool question in the group, basically asking what we all do for jobs or hobbies, but fake. And so it was quite creative. He said, I'm currently a retired billionaire who is looking to sponsor a podcast as soon as I get back from the moon after a huge experiment relating to whether you can play a physical game of bacon. That sounds fun. What if you could play a physical game? I guess you could.
Well, it's just throwing a piece of
Yeah, it
bacon
is,
onto
isn't it?
things, right?
That's actually kind of funny. Should we do a bacon tournament one day when we
Totally.
level up?
So we just throw bacon at stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fun.
Can we throw it onto a sandwich and then eat
Yeah,
it?
throw it onto bread with a bit of like
Yes.
lettuce and tomato and some mayo and pepper.
Yes, who has the best bacon landing into the Sammy? I
Although,
like that.
do we have to be doing it from the position we're usually playing bacon, which is sitting on the toilet?
Yeah. We'll just get a whole bunch
We're
of
just
portaloos
on
lined
the
up.
bus. Everyone on the bus is like, why is that dude throwing bacon? It's so weird.
Laura said, I live in Hobbiton and spend my days gardening and hiding from people in my hobbit hole. And Guy
Dream.
said, actual dream,
Actual
though.
dream.
What, living
Actual
in
dream.
Matamata?
Well, no, living in Hobbiton.
New Zealand.
Living in the Shire.
For those international, Hobbiton, where it was filmed, is in Matamata, New Zealand. Or Matamata, it's pronounced in New Zealand. It's a small town, and its one claim to fame is that Hobbiton is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd live there.
You've been there. I've never actually been to Hobbiton.
I've been there multiple times. I've been there about 5 times.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Good place to go.
It's fun.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it is really fun. And they've recently done it so that they've got a tour of, because originally you just walk around the Shire and I don't want to ruin the illusion, but the hobbit holes, the doors go to nothing. They've just built like the exterior into the hills.
Oh, I
There's no
see.
actual houses
No, oh.
until recently where they've actually made 2 houses.
Oh,
and you can
that's
go
cool.
and you walk around the house and it's like fully decked out.
That's cool.
It's really cool.
That's amazing. Guy Mansell said, I'm a professor of pocket monsters who lives in a small town. I'm obsessed with the single mum who lives in town and thinking of a way to get rid of her kid.
That's funny.
Oh, classic guy. And one more. Amy said, I used to be an adventurer till I took an arrow to the knee.
Hey.
Now I spend my days tutoring my young squire and practicing domestic arts whilst my spouse earns a living at the market. Skyrim flavoured,
That
but
is
true.
a Skyrim one. The guards in town all have the same voice, and there's this one line of dialogue was, I used to be an adventurer like you until I took an arrow in the knee.
Oh,
And they just say it over and over again. Yeah, that's a great reference.
nice reference. And lastly, Alice Reich, after our chat last week about the best PS2 collection we had or best games, she put a little photo in. Do you remember Dog Life? I remember I didn't play it, but I remember this cover.
I remember
Dog's
that
Life.
cover. Yeah.
Same.
I never played it though.
Neither. Hit and Run, Simpsons Hit and Run. You guys played
Classic,
that, right?
yeah.
Sam used to love that. And then Mr. Mosquito. I don't remember that one. Remember that one there? And Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus is a very
yeah.
well-known game.
There you go.
It was not recently, a couple of years ago, it was remastered for PlayStation 4, I believe.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
A beloved game, yeah.
Oh, and also lastly, I just want to give our thoughts to Jack Hearn. I think he's all good now, but it was the Cyclone Alfred last week in Brizzy, and he put a photo in of him covering up and like putting all his gaming stuff in like boxes and stuff, which was very resourceful and very smart. We hope you're okay, Jake. Hopefully it didn't batter down on you too hard. And that is your listener feedback.
I wonder if he put other important stuff in those boxes. Like they had like 12 or so boxes in the house, and he put all of his gaming stuff in, and then their partner or whoever lived with them is just like, we're going to put like
Family
photos, our
Yeah.
passports or anything. It's like, well, you can maybe put them in one of these boxes. Shove it in
there's
there.
room, yeah.
if there's room, but I'm saving my Nintendo.
I watched it. There's a YouTube channel called LFG or something, and it's a guy that just reviews computer games. From this was back ages ago when I was wanting to get into SimCity again.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I watched a review, and he's really funny and dry-witted and stuff. And he has a giant collection of huge bookshelves of the original paper cardboard boxes that all computer games used to come in.
Oh, yeah.
So back in the day, it would be a big like
yeah,
A4
yeah,
size.
A4 size, yeah.
And it would have like a booklet in there. It would have pictures. It would have the CD. It was like a full kit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I remember buying this for Age of Empires 1 back in the day, and The Sims and stuff as well. So he has a massive collection, and a hurricane came through and like tore a hole in the roof of his house. A tree fell through, and most of his collection, like huge collection, was like destroyed.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh,
Yeah, it was really stink.
that's devastating.
And he was like, I managed to save like some things, but we had to get out of there, sort of thing.
That's
And so that is one argument in favor of digital versions of media.
nice, circling back around to the original argument.
That's right. However, I mean, a physical collection is pretty cool.
I mean, you put that stuff on insurance, but then that just raises your premiums and stuff like that, and you're paying.
But also,
tremendous amount.
with things like that and like a classic car, it's like, yeah,
It's
my
irreplaceable,
old
eh?
truck
Yeah.
is insured, so I'd rather have the truck than the money. And no
Yeah.
matter what, you can't get that exact thing back again.
True.
Totally.
Very hard to get, so it's sad.
Totally. All right, well, should we jump into some gaming news?
Gaming news. I don't mind going first on this one, team.
Woo, get into it.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Thank you.
Go now.
Sorry.
Yeah, nice.
The Last of Us 2, the TV show, The Last of Us TV show, season 2. The trailer came out on YouTube. It's a 2-minute long trailer. For those of you that have played the game, very similar. Like, a lot of scenes are very iconic. Like, do you know at the start of Last of Us 2, Guy, I'm directing this at you because Ellie probably doesn't even know what that is.
No.
They're at a dance in Jackson in the dance hall
Yep.
with all the little fairy lights in the roof and
Totally.
stuff. That they've recreated that perfectly.
Nice.
So many scenes. I looked, and there's one where they get into an old museum and they hop on the rocket ships.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That it looks exactly like the game.
Cool.
Wow.
So heaps of these scenes you're pointing out, you go, oh, that was in the game, that was in the game, that was in the game. That's cool. There was a few extra things. There's a giant battle at the walls of Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
At what Jackson is like this town that they've managed to build and fortify, and people are actually living a relatively normal life there. And this wasn't in the game.
No, I was just going to say that's not in the game.
And it reminded me of Game of Thrones when they were on the wall and then the White Walkers all attack it.
Ah, yeah.
It was
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. All these zombies were effectively running at the gates and they're up there defending. It looked awesome.
Wow.
It looked like a massive spectacle.
That's cool.
So I think based on that, which wasn't in the game, they're going to be adding in more stuff from the past, like flashbacks and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
To sort of tell more of the story. I'm still hoping that they turn it from being a 10-episode season for the whole game into just the first half of the game, because
Yeah.
Last of Us 2 is super convoluted and confusing.
Oh,
Like
okay,
it
so
jumps around a lot.
Right, so it's worth 2 parts.
I think it's
of a
worth
series.
2 seasons.
Yeah, right, okay.
I think, yeah, because
Which has always been the rumor anyway, that they were going to stretch out Game
It
2
has?
into 2 seasons. Yeah.
okay, that's good
Ah.
because it is longer than the first game and there's just so much going on and they're adding stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they turn it into 2 seasons. So we've got 3 seasons effectively.
Yeah.
It's released in April, and from what I can tell, they are going to just stick with the storyline of the second game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So and no
Okay.
spoilers or anything, but they're doing it. They're going for it.
They'd have to. It's
they have to.
It would be a
It's-
dick move if you didn't. I know a lot of people would prefer if they did deviate a little bit, but this isn't a little deviation.
No,
This
it's
is
not.
A whole,
it's
it's
a
a whole
huge,
thing.
It's a huge deviation. So from what I could tell, they are sticking with it, and also from what I can tell, it looks epic. Like
Yeah.
they just nailed the casting, even the minor characters who pop up. I could tell which ones were which
Yeah.
from playing the game, and they've been swapped out with real humans.
That's cool.
And it looks brilliant. Pedro Pascal looks so hot with his salt and pepper beard and hair,
yeah.
and it's awesome. Released in April, can't wait.
The girl who plays Abby, Caitlin Dever. Dever? Dever.
Nice. Glad we got there in the end.
Yeah.
That's probably
She's-
still wrong.
Yeah, probably is. It begins with a D. She's a fantastic actress, and Abby in the game's quite jacked, and I don't think in the TV show she's going to be that jacked. So a lot of
okay.
people are annoyed already about that, but she's fantastic. I was recently watching, it's a Netflix documentary based on a real event of, it's called Apple Cider Vinegar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that-
Belle Gibson.
Yeah. So she is playing Belle Gibson, and she's got a fantastic Aussie accent, even though she's not from Australia. She's from America. But I honestly, when I was watching, I was like, wait, is she an Aussie?
Wow.
She nailed it. So I'm really excited to see her play Abby. Plus,
Yeah.
I really liked Abby as a character.
And also, when you say, lots of people are pissed off already, it's not really. It's a minority of very vocal people on the internet.
Yeah.
And it's not lots of people.
No.
Most people are just regular people who are excited for another season of a TV show.
Totally.
Yeah.
And 0.1% are on the internet getting angry about literally everything.
Yeah.
Very true.
Classic.
So flag those. And that's my gaming news.
Beautiful guy. What have you got?
I got a quick one about Lego. Now, Lego games is something that's been happening since 2005. Now, Lego is a company, the toy company, the largest toy company in the world. They don't develop video games themselves. They've been passing it on to an outsourced company called TT Games.
Oh, yeah.
And they've done all of the major ones that you can think of, all of the Harry Potters, the Lord of the Rings, the Marvels, and
Star
the
Wars.
Star Wars and all that. They've been in charge of that.
Batman.
Batman from 2005 until present. But they've just announced that they're actually developing an in-house Lego gaming development company. So they're actually going to be developing games themselves. They've done it once before in 2019 with a studio called Lightbrick Studio, and they made one small little journey game.
Oh, I remember that game, a little puzzle game.
Yeah, it's a
thing.
puzzle game.
Yeah.
And they've done nothing with it since, and they're not going to do it. But they have announced that they're creating a in-house gaming development company. They've tripled the amount of software engineers since 2022. So they're basically Lego's getting into they're getting into
They're
the game.
properly going to
world.
be a player.
Wow.
There's no indication that whether or not they're going to say goodbye to their relationship with TT Games and go, you guys have done great for the last 20 years, but we're taking it from here. Or if they're going to be doing that and then also developing games themselves. They want to go into a little bit of a meta universe. It's not just going to be video games. It's going to be a whole digital universe.
Wow.
Damn,
But
you
I'm just
sound
trying
like Zuck.
Yeah. It's I'm just trying to figure out what is I want to know what the name of the company is, because I feel like it would be something like Brick by Brick.
Oh,
Probably
oh
not.
yeah, that's quite good.
It's got to
Yeah.
have brick in the title or
Yeah.
some notion to brick.
What the thing I'm excited about is the Lego games, right?
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars, Lego Harry Potter, Lego Horizon.
Horizon's
which
coming
came
out.
Yeah. But looks amazing. It looks really realistic. It looks like real Lego. They're all super similar.
Yeah.
They're all you can play two players. You both run around the screen. It's really easy gameplay, really basic.
Yeah.
Heaps of different minifigures you can unlock and blah, blah, blah. So it's the first couple I played, I was like, hell yeah. Now I play one and I go, I've already played this game a million times.
Because it's one size fits all, kind of.
100%. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Reskinned as Marvel, reskinned, blah, blah. So what I'm hoping for, when I played that Lego puzzle game,
Yeah.
I was like, awesome. This is imagine a world where it's a big open Lego world and you can build your own house and you actually utilize this incredible toy. Because we haven't yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
And so I hope it's deviating, TT Games or whatever can keep making those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hope they actually unlock the potential of what could be a really amazing franchise.
Yeah.
And hopefully it means that they can test the waters with their own while letting TT run the main games, and they can sort of come up with their own concept. Imagine if they did a Lego version of Resident Evil, or The Last of Us,
horror
a
one.
little bit more edgy.
I love that.
That would be so good, a Death Stranding Lego game.
Or too far. Those two Venn diagrams do not cross over.
Yeah.
They are miles apart. But that's exciting stuff.
Very exciting stuff. All right, gaming news from me. Split Fiction, the brand new co-op game from Hazelight Studios, has sold 1 million copies in 48 hours, which is an amazing feat, especially considering they're not necessarily a massive gaming developer. They are. They're starting to get bigger now, but they're pretty small in comparison to other big, AAA games.
Yep.
And bear in mind as well with that number, they are so kind that you can have your friend buy it and then you can still co-op with them from a different house with the Friends Pass. So there could be at least 2 million people actually who technically have played that game in the first 48 hours or have got into it. So it's very exciting. I haven't started playing it yet, but Guy, you have.
Yes.
How is it?
Oh, it's hands down one of my favorite games I've ever played.
Not a full review yet. We need a
not
full
full review. I
Yeah,
can't
okay.
give you a full review because I've only played just over an hour with Meg.
Okay.
Shout out to Jordan Tenney who listens to the podcast. He managed to hook me up with a copy of the game.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
legend.
He got a couple of copies and he sent a code to me. He does Yenar Gaming. He's a fantastic dude. Huge supporter of the show.
Oh, shot
Yes.
Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, shot Jordan for
Yeah,
hooking
shot
up
Jordan.
me and Ellie.
Yeah.
Shot. No, just joking. That is
And
great.
this is a code for a game that I'm actually going to play, not like Final Fantasy
True.
VII.
True.
But anyway, I will give a more in-depth review maybe in a couple of weeks when I finish it. But it is so much fun. They've genuinely leveled up.
Cool.
It's so much action right from the get-go, right from the jump off. It's just full on, man. And it's visually, it's amazing. The sci-fi level that you play right at the start, there's explosions and lasers, and it's so fast. She's gonna
throw
really
up.
struggle.
Yeah, but motion sickness or?
In It Takes Two. Do you remember that level where it's in space and like one of you was upside down and the other one wasn't? And you got to
yes.
There's a bit of that.
Oh, okay.
Perspective stuff.
Stuff. Even I was like, oh, hang on.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I need some sea legs.
You play as two characters, Mio and Zoe, and they're both writers, and one's a sci-fi writer and one's a fantasy writer, and you basically live the stories that they've written.
Isn't it like a big corporation tries to suck all their ideas out of their heads?
So what it is a company called Vader that's invited these writers to come into their AI studios, and then they get into like this sort of AI bubble into these suits, and then the whole point is you get to play one story that you've submitted. But what they don't tell you is that once you're in the bubble, they're actually extracting all of your ideas.
So this is funny because this is literally them taking a swipe at the fact that some companies are going down the AI route to try and do creative stuff that humans would usually do.
Yeah.
And they're just going full AI.
Yeah.
And so this is quite nice. Not only are they doing like a really great game, people can bond, but they're also pointing out things that are potentially happening in the industry.
Yeah, I love that.
So It Takes Two was one of my favorite experiences playing a game because I got to complete a really cool, beautiful game with my wife. And Meg, I'm playing it again with Meg, and she is smoking it.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is Meg like coping okay with the controls?
She's she's great. She was like, when you're like, we're running away from these massive trolls, and she's like way ahead of me. I'm the one that kept on dying. Like, so it's I genuinely believe, even though 2025 is going to be such a big year for gaming, it's going to be a Game of the Year nominee.
I hope so. Awesome. When you think last year one of the nominations was a DLC for Elden Ring, and then Astro Bot won. You'd like to think if this game was in that lineup, very early doors, but it probably would have had a good shot at winning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, this year you've got Grand Theft Auto 6 and Ghost of Yotei and so many other games.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed's coming out. That's not going to be in it.
No, it's not going to be there. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Yeah. So, Split Fiction, awesome game. If you've got the opportunity, definitely play it.
Can I just say, there are a handful of studios making games that are proving to other studios, your EAs, your Ubisofts, your Activisions, etc., that you can sell a lot of games and be profitable by looking after your staff, by making games reasonably priced, by not rushing them out a buggy mess. So like Larian Studios, who made Baldur's Gate 3, came along, blew everyone away just over a year ago now, changed the game.
Yes.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 came out early this year. They did so much playtesting before it was released. They wanted to make sure it was like not bug-free, but as good a product as they could possibly release. And they managed to do that. And the people that make Split Fiction, Hazelight, they are selling games that are $50 US, so $80 New Zealand rather than the full 120 that everyone's doing.
Yeah.
Between two people, that's essentially $35 each.
Exactly.
Things like that, where you don't have to be making money the whole time anyone tries to do anything, like with in-game purchases, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Make a nice product, look after your sort of clientele.
Exactly.
And they're going to go through the roof.
Exactly, because if you actually compare it to It Takes Two didn't sell at 1 million until a month after launch. So this is showing that everyone loved It Takes Two, they respected it, and now they're just trusting this brand with this new game, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really great sort of growth of a company to watch. For example, and I always use examples in terms of The Witcher. The Witcher 1 came out on PC, super rough, but like really diehard fantasy game fans were like, oh, that's got potential. Witcher 2 came out, they had fixed a whole lot of stuff, and people got a bit more excited. They made that really cool game. They played The Witcher 2, and they were like, oh, wow, they've really gotten better here. By the time Witcher 3 came out, that group of people were like, yo, we have to play this. It's going to be epic. The next level is going to be amazing. It convinced so many other people to come in.
Yeah.
It was amazing. That's what's happened with this game.
Exactly.
They've gotten better and better and better.
Yeah, and also I love that it's showing off co-op games. Like, it's a really good example of like co-op games are awesome and people want them. So keep making them like this.
Yeah, because
I love them.
Punishing executives, right? They see Fortnite and they go, shit, we have to make Fortnite. It's been really successful. If this can be really successful, win Game of the Year again.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, these punishing executives will be like, we have to make more co-op games. That would be nice.
Which you know what's crazy? Is that Split Fiction, Hazelight Studios, but it's also developed by EA. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
So
I'm
they're
pretty
released
sure.
by EA.
Yeah,
released.
Publishing.
Yeah, under their publishing. So EA is not the developer, but EA has a hand in it.
Yeah,
true.
That means EA could walk in at any moment and like restructure the team.
Yeah,
they
or
could.
put them onto a different product.
You
absolutely could, but you got to sit there and surely there's somebody in a boardroom in EA going, all right, guys, this is a winning formula.
Yeah, let's do it.
We've got a bad rep for doing all these things.
Yeah.
You'd like
stop
to think
doing
so.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Exactly. Good stuff. And that's the end of gaming news. Now, next on the old run sheet that Chris put together in our messenger chat.
actually Guy.
Sorry, Guy.
Wow.
Sorry, you don't do anything, do you, Chris?
I really worked hard on that run sheet.
Just kidding. Chris Death. Chris Death is what it says. No, Chris Death Stranding chat.
Good
Hi.
anchoring, Ellie.
Thank
That
you
was good.
so. I'm really good at this job, eh?
It's flawless.
Okay, so brace yourselves.
Okay,
I literally
all right.
need to get Chuck
Yeah.
us that Astrobot like plushie.
Do you
Yeah,
actually
drink
want
the
it?
water.
No.
Okay.
It's,
Bit
a,
of-
it's just a joke about it being a pillow.
So there's a new Death Stranding trailer out. It's on YouTube, and just like any trailer, it's 10 minutes long.
That's crazy. Does that not give away things?
No, it does the opposite.
It could be an hour long, and
Yes.
it would confuse people more.
True.
Okay, so the first thing you see on the screen is the rating, right? M
yeah.
for mature, violence, blood and gore, strong language, partial nudity. That's new.
Is that for an M?
That's an M. That's a 17 plus over in the States.
Oh yeah.
But partial nudity, there was no partial nudity in the last game.
I reckon you're gonna see a tit.
I hope so. Partial,
Yeah.
so maybe just
Side,
one.
Just
side boob, maybe a naked bum.
Maybe one
oh.
naked bum with just a hint of ballsack.
Yeah.
Lovely.
That's what I'm looking for.
I was thinking female bum, but sure.
I'm trying to be more, represent all interests. Starts with two guys arguing about something. I think it's from the past. It's like a government guy
Okay.
and this Mexican guy, basically convincing him he has to move some cargo, blackmailing him. The cargo is a brain dead pregnant woman from Mexico.
Of course.
This connects to the first game.
Okay.
Where,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not even going to, just don't even worry about it.
Just go through.
It then cuts to a baby wearing mascara in the womb doing a backflip pulling thumbs up.
Oh, what?
I don't know. It's
Really?
a reoccurring thing from the first game.
How
I
is
don't
that
know.
a reoccurring thing?
I don't know.
It shouldn't occur at all.
It's set 11 months. I agree, Guy. Premature, a baby that's not even born yet shouldn't be wearing makeup.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
It sets
yeah.
a bad.
Yeah, yeah.
It does.
It's set 11 months after the end of the first game, so that's very easy to understand. It's set
Right.
11 months since the UCA was set up, which is the United States of America. That Sam in the first game, you're trying to connect everyone back up again.
Right.
Once it's all connected at the end of the game, it's officially the UCA or whatever, and it's officially set up.
Okay.
So it's set 11 minutes after that. Sam and Lou, his baby, BB, in his little bottle that he had on his
Yeah, I remember that.
now a toddler, because he's broken him out of that bottle and he's decided he wants to keep him as his own son rather than a piece of equipment.
Right.
Okay, because originally he was a piece of equipment.
I see.
That's right. It could do something, couldn't it?
Because the babies were taken out of the pregnant, brain dead mothers, they were in touch with the world of the dead because they were connected to their mums who were brain dead.
That's right.
And so they take them out, put them in these bottles, and you could see you could sense the world of the dead as long as you had one of these babies strapped to you.
Of course.
So random.
It's so
It's
random.
so random, but then I kind of admire the creativity.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
It's real random.
I get that.
It's next level creativity. So Sam's got Lou on who's now a toddler,
Yeah.
on a little front pack, quite cute.
Cool.
Can I firstly say the terrain and stuff looks amazing. The graphics on the first game are insane. The trailer looked incredible.
Alright.
Like you just look out over like a mountainscape and everything just looks so amazing. It's next level graphics.
Okay,
I'm
that's
excited.
good.
It's like almost the PS5 era is finally getting here in terms of mind blowing graphics.
Cool.
Then all of a sudden, all the routes Sam set up in the first game, they're now automated. So no more humans getting injured trying to haul stuff. It's all robots doing it now. Because the first game is just you hauling a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Thing comes up on screen saying a plate gate connects the continents. I have no idea what that is.
Okay. Plate gate.
A plate gate connects the continents.
Is it like
Weird.
a tectonic plate?
I don't know.
Oh.
A plate gate. I have no idea. All I know is the first game you're in USA and now it's connecting continents. Maybe it's going more worldwide.
Well,
Okay.
you could be going to South America.
I think you are. And the next
Nice.
screen says a new ship rides the tar currents. There's a shot of a big spaceship above some black tar looking oceany stuff. Don't know whose that is. I think it's the good guys.
It's the BP oil spill from the Gulf of Mexico.
It is. They're
Nice.
having a crack at BP. Beryllium has changed the environment. The time fall.
Yes.
Remember that
it
ages
makes the
people?
ages thing.
Oh, yeah.
Ages
Yep.
things. That's been happening so much that it's starting to affect the environment and change the way landscapes look.
Oh, no.
So, yeah.
Wow.
There's new factions. There's a new weird cult of people who gather around Sam on a beach. I think they're like zombies.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And what else?
There's a musical montage of Sam taking packages again, like in the first game, right? Similar gameplay to the first game, amazing terrain. So, like in the first game, everything's desolate, it's all desert and stuff. And this one, there's beautiful forests, there's frozen wilderness.
Okay.
And also the environments change maybe because of the time fall, but all of a sudden you'll be in the forest and then there'll be a wildfire that catches on fire and it like just naturally on its own will start spreading and just, like could happen anywhere, like lightning strike or something. And while he was climbing up a mountain, an avalanche started. Just stuff like that, like what's it called? Like interactive environments that can change around it.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool. There's a tsunami that hit. There was a sandstorm in one, which looked pretty cool. He's now got a 3-wheeled motorbike that can go on water as well.
Okay.
The introduction of that makes me think there's going to be more water.
Right.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Remember the weird puppet on his hip with a comedy accent?
Vaguely.
Like a little weird wooden puppet.
Yeah.
That's still there.
Okay.
There was a shot of that. Just reminded me. Fragile, who's in the first game, who's played by some famous actress, short hair. Apparently they're now trying to be like mum and dad to the little baby.
Yeah.
Right. It's more of a family affair this time.
Yeah, I think what's happened is Sam has decided, we're going to raise Lou, and Fragile in the first game, who you kind of save, she's decided that you're going to be a family.
Okay.
Which is nice. I like that.
Okay.
Giant tar monsters are still there. They're the boss battles from the first game.
I don't realize they were in those things that look like dogs? No?
No, yes, but really big ones, like huge ones.
Yeah,
colossal ones. There's heaps of those, except for one of them, in one shot, is a big tar monster fighting against another tar monster. So I'm thinking maybe the good guys take over a tar monster.
Possibly. Or
Maybe.
there could be tar monster factions that don't get on.
Guy, don't be ridiculous. But yeah, I have no idea. In the first game, you set up all these highways connecting all the areas, and you could ride your motorbike on them. Now there's a shot of a motorbike race happening. And there's like a bad guy on one of them and you're shooting at him. So maybe they're actually taking racing into, that'd be cool.
Okay.
One of the things you can now build between areas, you could like build is like a monorail that carries cargo directly. That's quite cool.
Helpful.
How you going, guy?
This is genuinely draining me.
Yeah, okay.
No, you're doing a great job.
I just had to stop yawning.
There's a guy named Tarman who has a pet cat that has wings.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. Heaps of new characters, including that introduces all the characters. It's like, here's blah, 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 blah. And then one's just introduced as Red Samurai, which is a robot samurai.
Okay.
Cool. And I was like, yo, that's sick. The puppet
Sick.
on a hip, it turns out is named Dollman.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Higgs is the bad guy, still same as the first game, but he can now convert people into BTs. He's got a weird mathematical formula written on his head.
Oh, right. Okay. So it's cheating in a maths test. Okay.
I guess so. My suspicions were confirmed at the end of the trailer where Sam and Fragile, the lady who I said to make a family together, they're just straight up hooking up at the end of the trailer for like 20 seconds.
Oh, spoiler.
Like,
oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so they just straight up hooking into one another.
Okay. So is the aim of the game different this time?
I don't know.
Because it seems a lot more elaborate. Does it? Or
Does
am
it? I think it's just expanding on an already confusing premise.
Right, yeah, okay.
At the very end, Higgs, the bad guy, has an octopus tentacle that comes out of his mouth. He just goes...
Ooh.
And this is the same guy that was a pheraoh with an electric guitar sword in the first trailer.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah, okay.
I know Guy really well, and I can tell that he is so sleepy right now.
Yeah, he's glazing over.
Okay, we're almost there. Final scene, heaps of the big tar bosses at the end of the game, like heaps of the really big ones. There's heaps of them. So I was surprised when there were two, and one might be good.
Yeah.
Shitloads of them. So I'm like, oh God, it's on for young and old. And then at the very end, a message that just says, we shouldn't have connected. Which is what I spent the whole first game doing, connecting the USA.
Yeah.
And it's like, we shouldn't have connected. That is not what I want to see after 60 hours of the most confusing gameplay of my life.
Yeah.
Oh, so now
like
it's going to be undoing everything you did.
It's like at the end of Gears of War 2 when you sink that city to kill that worm or something like that, and then there's like a voiceover. It's like, what have you done? You're like, well,
we were doing what you told us.
We were doing the whole thing.
And then it's like, yeah, exactly like that. And then the best part was, do you remember at the very start where I said there was two guys arguing?
What about the brain dead Mexican woman?
Yeah, that's right. The Mexican guy, he's got sort of straight, sort of mid-length hair.
Yeah.
And he's the guy arguing with the other guy about being a smuggler. Yeah. And he's like, okay, I've just got to do it. This guy, all of a sudden, is just sitting there. He's got a bandana around his neck, and then he realizes he has to get up and go. So he takes the bandana off, ties it around his head, picks up his gun, and looks exactly like Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
Hideo Kojima created Solid Snake in the Metal Gear Solid franchise. Konami Productions basically fired him. So he left and created his own new studio, but they kept the rights to this legendary series, Metal Gear Solid. So he, in the second game, has straight up created a character that looks exactly like Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. And I was just like, hey!
That's funny.
He put like a sick bandana on. He's got the same hair, and he had a gun, and then he did like the finger guiding movements to tell his troops behind him what to do, and then they like left. And I was just like, yo, he's just taking his character back.
That's so funny.
So at the end of this was like this great little Easter egg, and then I was reading the comments, and everyone was like, "Yo, my Snake is Solid watching this." Stuff like that. And it's out June 26th, and then at the very end, a tar monster with a rocket ship for a head.
Okay.
Any questions?
Right. Any questions from you there, Guy?
I sometimes struggle with falling to sleep at night, so
No,
I'll listen to I'll listen to the car map. I listened last night to Jonathan Bailey, the guy from Bridgerton.
And
from Wicked. He like tells a story.
Oh,
Don't know
does
what the
he?
story is about. Boof, gone.
Oh, dude.
Now I know what I'll watch.
Yeah.
This.
That.
I'll watch the trailer.
I'll watch the trailer.
It is so bizarre. It looks great. Like, I think my curiosity is going to get the better of me. Not straight away, not when it comes out. You know me.
Yeah.
I'll probably play it next year or something.
Yeah.
Just whenever there's a gap in games. But full credit to Hideo Kojima. I played the first game. I watched an hour-long video explaining what I just did, and I still don't understand what's happening. Which is awesome.
Yeah, that's very clever stuff. Very creative. Can't wait to not play it.
Yes.
What about you, Guy? Are you looking forward to not playing it?
Just have a drink of water. No, I'm not going to play it, but I actually do like the creativity. I like the
Me too.
randomness of it. I think that he's got a pretty tight grip on that niche, and Death Stranding was a successful game. It's going to be.
It was.
So obviously there's a huge market for it.
Yeah.
Can I, like, the facial animations, the humans and the environments just look next level.
Yeah, nice.
Like, it's just, that's one of the best things about it is his stuff just looks amazing.
That's
And
cool.
I haven't played, obviously, but in Death Stranding, is there a level up system, like a skill point, like you earn skill points?
Not as black and white as a traditional way, but you do slowly unlock more skills and more weapons and more stuff. But it's not just a straight up skill point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what I wanted to talk about was in a...
Nice segue.
Ellie! No, you don't point it out. You just,
Sorry, but
just let it happen.
I wanted to point it out because I can't do it, and you've just absolutely taken my anchor job right now.
Well, when you asked me the question, I was like,
I can feel it as well.
I was lobbing up a serve.
No, I know.
And then-
I won't acknowledge it again, but that was great.
So
You
Guy.
talked in my backswing, Ellie.
So it was like volleyball. So you sort of, the ball came over, you dug it, you hit it to me, I set it,
Yeah.
and then you went to spike it, and then Ellie just ran in the middle of the court and just did like shit on the ground. It was just
And
like,
she was like, I know what you're doing.
oh, you played volleyball. I love volleyball.
I want to talk about skill maps. So obviously in a lot of games, there are the skill map when you first start the game, skill trees, skill charts. Did your microphone just turn off?
Yeah, did that?
Skill tree.
There
we
we
go.
go.
Sorry.
Yeah, nice.
So as you get more XP, as you level up in the game, you'll be like, you get a notification saying you've earned a skill point. And then the skill points means you can unlock new different moves or different stamina or traits or something like that. And then by the end of the game, in theory, you should have a full tree, right?
Yeah.
And so as you know, like the more intense skills or things that you can learn, they require 2 or 3 skill points, right? And the first ones only require 1. So I thought, have a think about what you can do as people.
Yeah.
What's something that you want to do? You're walking along, you've done something, and ding, you just get a notification saying that you, Ellie, and you, Chris, have earned a skill point. 1 skill point
To allocate.
to allocate to something that you want to do in real life.
Okay.
What would it be? So basically, how do you want to better yourself?
All right. What do you think, Ellie?
Fascinating.
I just
stuff.
talked for 10 minutes straight.
You
so
know,
I'll
I'll
just-
go. Okay. So what I would like to level up in life with is, and I don't even know if this is a skill, but
Anchoring.
I want to be able to just know how to eat nutritionally and just know how to cook stuff. I don't want to have to do all the admin of it. I just want to have like cooking skills and nutrition skills.
You just want it now without the effort. Very Gen Z of you.
Thank you. Yes, I am young.
Yeah, right.
Because this is something that may make me seem quite old. But yesterday, I got a blood test result back, guys, and I'm pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I need so instantly I need to change my lifestyle, like ASAP Rocky.
So it's too much sugar?
Pretty much like too many carbs, too much sugar. My pancreas is now like insulin resistant, basically, and I'm getting bad sugar spikes and stuff. All self-inflicted, pretty much. It is in my genes. Like my dad is pre-diabetic, but he didn't get diagnosed. He was like in his 50s. I'm 30.
He's
Also,
fine.
you know, everyone goes through their 20s and their teenage years eating shit.
Yeah.
And like literally, you know, one day you're going to have to correct it. You know that's going to have to happen.
Yep.
but you just try and get away with it for as long as possible, and you've had your moment of reckoning.
Oh, exactly. I have got away with it for way too long.
And you can still get away with it, but you just have to be smarter about it.
And also, some people, everyone's body's different, so you can reach pre-diabetic levels sooner than somebody who eats worse than you.
Yeah.
But some
That's
people,
right.
it all depends on your metabolism and stuff like
True.
that. So there could be somebody out there that's heavier, they've got as much cardiovascular strength, they eat way less,
Yeah.
they eat way more, but they're still not pre-diabetic. Whereas
Yeah.
you can have somebody who's got a pretty standard lifestyle and then they go, sorry, you're pre-diabetic.
Yeah, it gave me
So-
quite a fright because I wasn't even getting a blood test for that. It was literally just a standard blood test. Let's just see how you're going. And then I got a call yesterday being like, so you're pre-diabetic and we're going to need to make some massive changes to your life. And I'm like, what?
What's in your cup there?
What's in my cup? Oh, that's water.
Hey!
I've actually got water.
Yeah,
See?
nice.
No sugar. Yeah, thank you. So I don't know what the attribute or the skill would be, but I want to be able to just know how to cook and not have to think about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have good knowledge on this. So I'm a real convenience person, hence the pre-diabetes. And so I want to level up my knowledge, I guess.
Yeah, so it's a knowledge skill, but it's
Yeah.
a knowledge pertaining to a certain subject.
Yeah.
So
The culinary arts or something.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
right.
like, yeah.
A point into that.
dietary knowledge.
Yes,
you
that's
know?
probably it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the executive function to be able to execute it would be nice. So that'd be my one for real life, based on a very true story as of yesterday.
Getting your bloods done is a really good thing. My wife and I do it every 6 months.
Oh,
like
good on ya.
literally just go and get it checked
Yeah.
out. Like my cholesterol over the last few years has been up and down, but it's good to know when
That's good.
You know.
Good on
Yeah,
ya.
I haven't had one for about a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
I should go.
Yeah, give it a little look.
Last one though, harrowing. Last time, the lady went in there and how many vials do they take out of you?
Depends what you're getting tested for. If it's a standard test, it's usually 2.
I think
I got
mine
like
was 2.
4. I went in there and I can't remember why I was there. For some reason, they wanted to check certain things and make sure I didn't have this. I can't even remember why I was there. But she's like, we're going to do a blood test. We'll take about 4 vials. Puts the 4 vials down and then like plugs it in, fills up one, then fills it. She's yakking away, fills it up, puts the lids on it right. And then I'm just sitting there like, there was only 3. And she takes the needle out because it's a thing. The needle stays in there and she just changes the vials out.
Yeah.
Takes the needle out and it's just like, oh, there's a 4th one here. I've forgotten about that. Sorry about that. And then like back in, and at this point, I almost fainted because I had thought about, and I'm actually really bad for this. Whenever especially if stuff's going in.
Yeah.
So when I was addicted to heroin, this was a nightmare. Like if I when we got my shots done before I went to Cambodia, like malaria or rabies or some shit. The first one, you're just watching this thing go in, then all of a sudden my brain goes, well, that's going to be like all going all around your body. That liquid there.
Yeah.
It's going to be like going everywhere.
You wonder as they plunge it in, you go, is that creeping through my system slowly,
It's
or has
some of
that
it-
already reached my heart? Oh my god, it's in my brain.
It was like, it's going to go into my heart, get pumped around. It's just like makes me, and then so that she's like, okay, cool, that's your first one, and here's your second one. And I honestly almost fainted for the second one. My wife took a photo, put it on the internet for my radio show. Everyone had a great laugh.
Classic, yeah.
But yeah, so that lady with the 4th vial back in there, I almost fainted, took the blood out, and I think that just scarred me.
Yeah, that
Fair enough.
sucks.
And
Yeah,
now,
that's horrible.
Yeah, but I should go.
Yeah, I mean, I got my full blood done and it was only 2. So next time, if it's just a full blood count, then surely it's just 2. It'll be
right.
right.
Yeah,
but I
right.
appreciate that it is a bit scary. But yeah, I think that'd be my skill. Culinary nutrition knowledge would be that one.
What about yours, Chris? 1 skill point to level up.
I'd like to just level up charisma by a point. Just because in our industry, if the more charismatic you are, the more successful you can be.
More hireable.
The more hireable, you know, if you
yeah.
can literally walk into any meeting and have a yarn with someone, you know, and convince them of anything. People can do that. There are people who can walk in and convince people to hire them and put them as manager when they have no knowledge.
Yeah.
So an extra point in charisma is always handy.
It's how it happened in the 70s, because that's what your parents or your dad would usually say to you is like, walk in, shake his hand, look him in the eye, and say, I'm a hard worker, and you need to hire me, and you'll just get the job. It's like, no, that's not how the world
Dad,
works.
it's not how it works
That's
anymore.
not how it works. No.
I tried it. It
Yeah.
didn't work. It wouldn't even work at McDonald's, you know? You've got to go through an application.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'd do that. I also love the idea of having an extra point in like mechanical ability and being able to fix everything. I want to be able to fix everything.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Get a lot of satisfaction out of that.
Yeah.
Guy, you probably a point in hygiene. Extra point in hygiene for you.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
I'm a very hygienic person. And I don't want that to be a thing going forward, that I'm a
Guy's
stinky
dirty.
boy.
He's got a stinky bum. I got a text from your wife. She said an extra point in stamina would be good for you.
Fun fact,
Oh, no.
not allowed to.
What?
Wait.
Shag.
Oh, the old.
No shagging.
Why?
Oh.
We've been shag free about 6 weeks now.
Wow.
Because
Because
my
of the
wife's
pregnancy,
pregnant.
yeah, right.
And because of the pregnancy.
Yeah.
And we've been told by our midwife
No shagging.
until the kid comes out
Really?
Oh, wow.
in July.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's not always the case, though, right?
Not always the case.
Yeah, right.
Look at Ellie.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, just another tick. Don't have kids. Don't have kids. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, man, that's a shame.
Well,
You know what?
technically,
Good.
Meg can't.
Hey, yeah. Guys been having affairs. Let's start that rumor.
Yeah, one skill point in philandering.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. My skill point would probably be something that's been bugging me for the last couple of weeks. I've just got terrible memory at the moment.
Oh.
I'm not losing my memory, but I'm just forgetting to do shit. And it's just like really small things that I'm like, I remember to do that. So just a
Yeah.
little bit more, just getting a bloody grip on not forgetting shit.
You need to do that now before you get old,
I know.
because that's going to accelerate.
Yeah, I know.
So what stuff are you forgetting?
Just small things like dropping off something to someone's house that I said I was going to do yesterday.
Bro, set a reminder.
I know.
Yeah, do you
My
usually-
phone has made me the most reliable person ever.
Yeah.
Wow, not ever. But like, I set even the tiniest things. Like, I literally set in my thing, call golf course at 9 a.m. yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got a reminder. I was like, oh my God, I would have completely forgotten about that. Called the
Yeah.
golf course, swapped around my tee booking for this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, just things like you just got to do it. Because you just tell Siri to do it, you know?
Yeah. Do you respond well to digital invites like that, though? Some people don't.
No, I
Especially
mean,
people
my
with-
wife and I run a pretty tight calendar with
Okay.
invites and the reminders and stuff like that. But it's just the small jobs, like I forgot to take the fish out of the freezer this morning. And it's
Oh,
like, now I've
yeah.
got to do the old quick thaw of hot water in the sink, you know? Annoying things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Last night I said to Sam, because I was going to sleep really early because I wake up early, I said to Sam, oh, before we go to sleep, Sammy, can you get the lamb out of the freezer? And he's like, yeah, I'll do that. And then I woke up at 3:30 this morning to go to the gym, and I wake up and I go to the toilet, and then I just see Sam at 3:30 a.m. going down the stairs. I'm like, Sam, why are you up? He's like, oh, I got to get the lamb out.
Yeah, nice. That's good dedication,
Yeah,
though, right?
he dedicated himself to it. But yeah, so yeah, he's with you.
I've got a brain like that too, where if there's something that needs doing, I can't just put it off and go to sleep. I want to be able to sleep without knowing there's something that needs to do. So I
Yeah.
would get up and do the same thing.
And if you've
Totally.
got an idea for something in your life, you've something for work, something for a podcast or whatever you're doing, if you've got a good idea and you're in bed, write that shit down.
Write it
Yeah.
down,
Because
you'll forget.
the amount of amazing ideas I know I've had right before bed and then waking up, I'm like, damn it.
Same.
Yeah.
There was my $1 million idea.
Same. I
Gone.
always think I'm going to remember it as
Yeah.
well. I'm like, nah, I remember that. Yeah, that's a
you-
good idea.
Do you guys, when you get an email, like a work email, say, or like someone being like, hey, we need you to do this, do you open it and look at it? I'll open the email, read it, and then close it and make it unread again.
That's
so
what I
the
do.
notification's
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah, that's what I do.
same.
Yeah.
That's how you never forget, even
Yeah.
though I still manage to sometimes. But
Yeah.
yeah, little things like that I've changed.
Yeah,
Because my
nice.
memory sucks as well.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Terrible.
There you go. Hey, well, let us know on the ECG VCG
It's been
Facebook
a very,
group.
there's not been much of a gaming podcast in the last 20 minutes. I talk about blood tests and memories. And
That's fine.
No, yeah, you get
It's
to know
the,
us.
it's the new laid back nature of our potty, remember? That's
Sure
how we're
is.
doing it.
It is. Let us know what your skill point would be if you could level yourself up in life.
Hmm.
And other than that, we will have a DLC out on Monday as per.
Just on DLCs, we need to find more interviews. I've messaged like 4 people and they've all been busy or
Oh,
away.
yeah, we
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Yeah. If you have any suggestions, actually, as well, if there's people you want to
Totally.
hear from, let us know.
Actually, my wife was like, oh, a guy I went to school with just created a video, quit his job, created a video game and won an award.
oh,
That's
and I was
great.
like, that's great. Let's
That's
talk
perfect.
to him. And so she's like, yeah, let me know and I'll message him. So we'll do that at some
That could
stage.
be cool. I'd
That'd be
love
awesome.
to hear about that.
For some reason, I'd really love to have another, like, you know, not celebrity, but like known New Zealand person. Because
Yeah.
the reason Bree's one was great was because it was like, oh, there's a known New Zealand person who also plays video games and
Yeah.
also doesn't talk about it a lot
yeah.
because people are like think it's lame or whatever.
Yeah.
So another
totally.
person like that would be great.
Yeah.
But we'll rack our brains. Any suggestions, let us know. Because it turns out organising podcast guests is a pain in the
It's
ass.
quite
Yeah.
hard. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's going to become the bane of our existence. But that's okay.
That's all right. Yeah, we love it. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you.
Wait, what
for
do you
the
play?
DLC. Oh, I mean.
Sorry, we just want to make this about video games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. Back to the original.
Video game podcast, video game podcast.
What am I playing? Nothing. At the moment. I mean, I'm technically playing Hogwarts Legacy, but I haven't picked it up. Oh, I do want to play Split Fiction, but I'm going to wait until I've quit my job, as you said, left my job. I'm now just talking because I've got real diarrhea, and I'm just going to hand this over to you guys. What are you guys playing?
I'll be playing Split Fiction.
We should have just said nothing there. We
Yeah,
just
yeah,
left
yeah.
there drowning in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Split Fiction. Nice guy. What about you, Chris? What are you playing at the moment?
For the first time in a long time, without being overseas or anything like that, I haven't played PlayStation in a week because I've been so freaking busy.
Oh,
which is a real shame. But I have been playing on the PS5 Pro. I'm going to do a review for this on the Monday DLC, the actual Pro itself and the differences. I've been playing Spider-Man 2.
Cool.
I played Gran Turismo 7, which is for me the biggest improve with the new console. Elden Ring and just little bits and pieces, and a lot of Pokemon Ruby on my Game Boy whilst flying around.
Nice.
Because I was away for the weekend. So yeah.
Nice. Cool. Oh, well, thanks for that. Have a great week, and we'll catch you on Monday for the DLC.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.